Well, I came back to Edwards Crossing. This is sort of where I was previously, although the water is much higher. These trees weren't quite as underwater. My spot on the other side is underwater. We're in the like 2000s and something of flow on dream flows. But the good part is this water is right up here next to the cobble. And then we got these trees and grass. So there have been people saying go up to the high water line. I'm wondering if that's where I'm standing right now. Because these rocks got here and then they stayed. My backpack's pretty far back that way, so I'm gonna go back to the backpack where I first started seeing these big cobbles like this. And start getting down to this bedrock because we're standing right on the bedrock. See what I can find. I've seen a lot of squirrels this morning. And I presume we're gonna see a snake today, but I'm gonna try not to find it with my hands. So here I see sand, so that's not such a good sign, but this direction there's some bigger cobble, and back where I was there was some big cobbles. Like these ones are packed in okay. So wish me luck. I'll be back with an update. Renee went that way. She's well beyond this pointy bedrock on the other side of it. It looks like it's gonna be a nice day. So let's find some gold. Okay, so I'm here. There's a big boulder here. And then there's this another boulder here. And then down in here, there were quite a few really big cobbles. Kind of like that one. I pulled those away. Now you can see there's smaller ones mixed in with sand down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna clean that off and try to get to the bottom, and then I'll scoop up what's in the bottom. I'll put it in this bucket. The water's right there, but there's also water right here. So I may just pan it right here in the little puddle. Wish me luck. And so it turned out underneath that stuff, there's some bedrock here, but it wasn't very deep. But then this spot did go down kind of deep, but it's full of water. Anyway, put that stuff in the pan over here. So I'm gonna try to do what I can here in the puddle. I'm curious about this little log jam, but also it is in the water, so. See the kind of rocks coming out of there. A little hard to do one-handed. And the puddles get me kind of full of my gravel here. The first couple pans weren't that great. But we'll see what shakes out of here. There's a little bit so far. So I don't know if you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiny guys. Let's see. Right here, here. Pretty hard to see. So, see if I can get to the bottom, but that's about what we're getting here. So that rock, this rock, and this rock were all piled up right here by my panning hole. So I've just been filling in my hole, unfortunately, but now we're getting down to some stuff that maybe hasn't been looked at in a little bit. So we'll see what's under here. That last spot just was very small stuff. Okay, this spot here under this rock, and it had some very tiny stuff. So I don't know what that means. Maybe the water's going too fast here. So I moved up the bank. You can see my pan up there. Not very far, but just up in this crack. And the gold got a little bit better up there, so I'm gonna try a good pan up there and we'll see what happens. So that's where we were over there. And now we're just a little bit further up. And the last bit of dirt came out of this crack. And there's a couple of little flakes. I'm gonna try to get more out of there and see what happens in the next pan. Let's go. Here's the dirt that came from that little spot. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. All right, here we go. Water in my boot. Well, let's see. Oh, there's one piece. Well, that's not bad. Look down in the black sand. You can see some stuff now. Get rid of some of this. It's definitely better than earlier. Well, we picked up and moved. Now we're on the other side. If you see in that tree, there's a whole bunch of sticky brush, like, you know, snags. Pretty high up, way higher than I am. So the high water must be up there. Anyway, this was full of dirt, and now it's there. So I'm gonna go over there and hand it out, see what happens. There was one tiny flake, and it's getting late, so I think we say goodbye to the river for today.